Del Rio, Texas, Rob Wade and Robert Garza. Two guys who dive. This episode of Two Guys Who Dive recorded live Saturday, 1 June 2013. Episode 69, Another Brick in the Wall. Well, welcome to another episode of Two Guys Who Dive, and I'm your host, Rob Wade, and I'm here with...
Scuba Bob.
Good grief, just getting in under the wire. You know, if you had a good calendar on that iPhone of yours, you might be able to set your times and line up.
Right off the bat.
No kidding. No kidding. And we're also happily joined by...
Troy McGonagill. T-Mac.
The one and only.
T-Mac.
Troy McGonagill, a.k.a. T-Mac. All right, so I had an interesting week this week as we wind down, getting ready for our big furlough. So, you know, a lot of crazy stuff going on. Yeah, exactly. So I look at the upside. It gives me an extra day during the weekend to do stuff that I need to get done, you know. How about you, Robert? How's your week been? Or can you talk about it? We know some of the stuff is like super secret squirrel stuff. You need to have the right passcode.
I got relocated again to another campus.
Good grief.
Yeah, if you read the paper, I think you understand why.
No, I don't have a bird.
Oh, okay, I see.
So I don't get the local newspaper to line the bird cage.
Okay.
I get it.
No,
now.
there was a situation that happened, and I'm kind of I consider myself damage control.
Oh, ouch!
Yeah, yeah. You check out the front page of yesterday's newspaper.
Oh wow! Okay, I'll have to. Which it'll be out there for the next 3 days. So
yeah, it'll be out there for a while.
So interesting stuff, huh?
Yeah. You know, it's sad,
but true.
I guess I can talk a little bit about it because of the it is on the paper. One of the teachers.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, you know, and well, one of the teachers was, I guess, doing something that they shouldn't have been doing.
Oh, good grief!
Yeah, and. Kind of knew about it before it was going to explode, and got moved over there. So,
wow.
Hopefully, it's only another 5 days, and then school's out. So then
school's out for summer.
Yeah. So then
there's a whole generation of people have no idea where that song comes from.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Wow.
Yeah. You know. So.
Wow.
Okay, that doesn't top my furlough.
No.
It really doesn't. So how about you, Troy? You've been doing a lot of work lately.
Doing some interesting work the past few weeks. I mentioned it was it last week I was here?
Yes, it was, believe it or not.
Yes. Doing some remodeling.
Yeah.
Not that I'm incapable of doing it, but never have engaged all of those. But it's been fun. It's been a nice experience and construction work, and additionally got good news yesterday afternoon. Got called for a job interview that I've been hoping to hear from, and I'm scheduled to go in Monday morning.
Cool.
So
it does technology stuff, which is always cool.
Exactly. That's why I'm kind of excited about it. It has to do with technology stuff, and you know, never having been in every job I've had, I've always engaged technology at some level, but this is wrapped around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Using
cool
mapping equipment and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Now, see, that's an avenue I never would have thought to get into, but you know, because you were telling me that it has to do with the tie-in to whole 911 system. And
that's that's what.
Which, of course, you know, that's
6
degrees of Kevin Bacon here.
Yeah. Well, and after having talked to people that are already in there, they say that there's a lot of interaction with other agencies.
Right.
You know, if there's an emergency or whatever, I just, you know, sometimes there's mapping that's required for law enforcement, you know, fire department,
right,
EMS, stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
Well, you definitely don't want to be in a situation where you're you know, you're calling in for help, and the cops are like, I have no flipping clue where you're at.
Cool in the way that it will be able to be of some assistance, help.
Right.
I like helping people.
We always need assistance. So
no kidding.
Well,
actually, the city could use some assistance right now.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I love helping people. I think Rob and I both love helping people. That's why we have an iPhone.
People helping people.
We have an iPhone user in between us.
Like a show tune.
We're trying to help you.
You keep giving me cues for songs.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, I've said it in the previous podcast. It actually takes two to make one. So, and I just, you know, you can surround me with all kinds of Microsoft products. It's all right.
That's funny. So, man, speaking of people needing help, how about the ridiculous storms and tornadoes racking the Midwest, especially poor Oklahoma? You know, more of Oklahoma got smacked, and then suddenly here OKC gets it. Wow. The dogs are all getting excited out there.
Yeah, well, it's actually going to storm. Yeah, the clouds are rolling in.
Well, and that's why, because we're going to talk about this in a little second. But yeah, that kind of was on the front of our mind as we were doing our dive today. So we were watching those roll in. We're like, we don't want to get stuck out here if that rolls in. Hey, wow. Well, come on in. Just watch the cameras and stuff. Wow. Hey, no. We got. Are you guys going to be here for the whole thing?
Just for a little while.
Oh, well, we certainly would like to have you. We can pull up a couple of chairs back here if you want to sit in.
No.
Oh, come on. We got to at least get you on the camera.
No.
A quick shot.
Oh, okay. Well, just grab a couple of chairs from. We got some chairs out in the Tara's craft room or whatever. We are surprised, joined by two of our dive buddies from today, Trish and Gay. Had a great time with them today, and so I figured they would be after the trek of pulling gear up and down. They'd be going home and just crashing because it was pretty.
The moonscape that we have there surrounding our lake now.
It was pretty wild. So,
where did you guys dive?
Oh, you'll get to see.
You'll
get to see.
Fear not, young Jedi. It's
is
coming.
Is the Botany Bay already out of water?
The Botany Bay. You know, I haven't been out to Scuba Cove in a while.
Oh, okay.
So, so anyway, let's get back to Oklahoma. Man, it's just crazy. The more Oklahoma tornado, I guess they only had 15 minutes heads up when that was coming in.
Yesterday?
No, last week. And so
I thought that was last night.
No, that was OKC.
Oh, okay, right on.
OKC.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, they're just all of that.
Right,
and then St. Louis got hit.
What?
I mean, it's just,
When?
last night.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like as it moved through and smacked OKC, then it just the whole, you know, the way the line was, you know, kind of moves diagonally because of the way those fronts come through. You know, they're big curve. I'm getting on the camera here. The big curve. I got to do like the weatherman. It's like, okay, how did they do that? Because they see the reflection on the screen. They're like,
this is where the green screen would come in handy.
Exactly. Which we could do that now if I actually had a green screen.
For those of you folks at home, he wishes he had a Mac because that happens automatically on a Mac.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it doesn't actually. Oh, thanks. Now my dogs are
Yeah. You said
Mac. That's going to have to stop. See if they destroyed. Oh, they're like, the camera's like going crazy. See what they did to it. Oh, that one's still working. See if yours is still working. See one actually is pointing to you.
Did they hit one?
Oh, they're bouncing it like crazy. You know, it's like, Del Rio's getting an earthquake. Ah! We have to do the Star Trek shakes. Okay, ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on, man. You're Star Trek. You've got to do it. Golly, you're no fun.
I'm the captain. I'm in the chair.
No, he did too. He fell out of the chair. Come on, man.
Oh, which one was this, though?
Every episode, they were doing something in the ship.
I need to have sound effects. I need to have full-ton torpedoes coming right at me.
No, you got to just go with the flow. Method acting is where it's at, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Method acting. So here's the method. You shake a lot and move left and right as the ship moves. Come on, man. Golly. And it was going to look so good on the repeat, too. So everybody's like shaking and they're going to like, cut. Robert, come on, man. We can't afford
missed a cue. It wasn't in my script.
That's right.
Do over.
I didn't get the updated script.
Take 300.
I didn't get the updated script.
Oh, Castle. So anyway, I guess in Moore, Oklahoma, they only got like 15 minutes heads up that the storm was coming, the tornado was coming. So, that's why they had such a high loss of life. But I guess everybody was, attuned. Everybody's kind of already, primed to move with the next wave of storms. So I guess they had a little bit better heads up. And while any loss of life, of course, is tragic, they still lost. I guess there was a mother and her baby that were killed in Oklahoma City.
Wasn't it during rush hour?
Yeah, which is really wild. Yeah. And I was trying to find out, there's something, one of our Air Force bases, of course, there is Tinker Air Force Base.
Oh,
and I was wondering if they got hit at all. I know that the airport was shut down, put on alert, and everything, but I was wondering if the Air Force Base got hit or affected at all. Because, there's a number of Air Force bases that are central hubs for certain types of activity. I won't go into a lot of detail, but let's just suffice to say that that could have been an issue, so that affected more than just the one base. So, and I haven't heard if there was any loss of life in St. Louis, but I had this vision of there's a sci-fi show that I like, which is Defiance. Gay watches that. It's a good show. It's a really good show. I'll be wondering if they can actually keep the show up to the standards that they've got, because there's a lot of good CGI that goes on, and the makeup and the characters and everything. It's kind of I like the way they do it, but it's the city of Defiance is actually what used to be St. Louis, and so what's left of the arch is there, which creates a nice neat little backdrop. And I was as I heard that the tornadoes were bearing down on St. Louis, I was thinking, oh, so that's how it got messed up for Defiance.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's just ironic
that's
that
where it's happened.
A tornado hit, and the show's based in...
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
So if we see some of the little haunts that are in the show that show up in wrecked buildings and in the aftermath, that we'll know where those came from. So we would have loved to have had you out with us on the dive today.
Yeah. You were there too, Troy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm all sunburned.
Yeah, we got lots of sun. So the title of the episode today is, of course, Another Brick in the Wall, because we found another wall dive.
Another wall.
And I'd like to show you the really cool wall we got the dive on.
Cool.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that wasn't it.
It would be nice to
No, that wasn't it. Oh, wait a minute. No, that wasn't it.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's the one we dove on. So as the storm is looming. So this is off of Spur 454, which most of which used to be underwater.
Yeah.
So it's very eerie driving down that road, and you're looking at devastation. I mean, you're looking at what could have been the aftermath of a big explosion or something. It's just amazing to look at. Oh. But we were cruising out there trying to find a spot to dive, and it was suggested to us by Jeff Larson, who is one of my former students, who's now a search and recovery diver for the Park Service. He said, you ought to go check that out. So we headed out there. But first we were taking our good friends, Trish and Gay, headed over to the pool to test out some equipment. And so we spent better part of the morning doing that. So, we were loading up equipment and kind of doing a little refresher course for Gay to get him ready, because they are both going with us on our trip to Grand Cayman.
Cool.
Yes. So we're doing a little bit of. Oh, and by the way, these pictures are taken with our new Sea Life camera, and I'm still getting used to all the settings. There's still so many things you can do with it, but so far I'm really, really pleased with the pictures. There's Troy. He was also helping us test a bunch of the gear.
I had no idea you were even taking pictures.
Yes, because I can. And there he was practicing a little bit of the buoyancy, the hover. The hover. Yeah. Pool's a little bit cloudy.
Yeah.
But still better visibility than the lake today.
True. I couldn't get the pool any clearer for some reason.
There's another one.
My pool skills are lacking, I suppose.
There's Gay.
See, because you're looking for how to clean a pool using a Microsoft product. That's what it is.
Oh, please. This is what? This is not a Microsoft product. It's Sea Life.
No, he was talking about how to clean a pool.
Oh, right.
Well, he's looking it up on.
So we got out to the lake, set up the now because
that
Spur
looks
54.
like a trek.
Yeah.
Well, is that the car or is that a vehicle up there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. This is off to the right side. If you're local to Del Rio and you're driving down Spur 454, don't go all the way down to where it's basically now a boat ramp. There's a little road off to the right where you see what's left of a house that used to be underwater, which now it's this kind of landscape that you see, and you can park just about anywhere there. And then it's still a little bit of a trek, but this isn't as bad as Scuba Cove is right now. Or just about anywhere else out there.
I think the cove, what makes it worse is the incline.
Yeah, which some of this wasn't too. I mean, it was pretty steep too, but it's still more traversable. You don't feel quite like you're taking your life in your hands as you slip down here. So there's Trish and Troy. Lining up, getting ready to dive. What we had to do, since this is not a protected cove, matter of fact, there were a number of boats and jet skis and stuff out there. We had to. There is you see the dive buoy, dive flag there. I actually had it tied off to a kind of a reddish buoy that was already moored off the wall there.
Cool.
So. After doing the dives today, I definitely do not believe I'm going to be able to use this area for at least this particular cove for teaching students, because it's a really quick drop off there, and it is a wall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of fishing line. Although Trish was talking about the fishing line, which she got hooked up on. I think Gay got hooked up on. Did you get hooked up on any of it?
No, I did see a lot of it, but
there's tons of it all over there.
To steer clear of it.
Yeah, but. It's just kind of a mess, and I wouldn't be able to have a really safe 20 to 30 foot area.
Yeah, because it's just like boom, drops off.
Yeah, which is okay if you're diving. So I started trying to take some pictures underwater, and this is how bad the visibility was.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this whenever we were over by the wall? Or
we were following the line down. That's prevalent.
You were doing pictures then too.
Yeah,
okay.
I was taking some pictures as we were starting to drop down.
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty bad over there.
Yeah. There's Troy.
And I had a new mask today, and hasn't been properly conditioned, so it was fogging up on me quite a bit.
Yeah. That's right. You hadn't done the.
Which is adding to my
frustration,
inability to see well.
On the surface, a lot of this reminds me of diving by the cliffs by Diablo East.
Yeah.
But it's so much better. Wow. So much better. So we did the first dive, trying to get down to. Gay wanted to try and get as deep as he could to get ready for the dives that we'd be doing in Cayman. So we were as a group working our way down, and. We got down to just about to the end of the line, because the lake is down so far that the cable actually loops back up.
Yeah.
Because it's the cable is longer than the lake, than where the buoy is sitting. So it actually came down and then loops back up to where it's anchored to the wall. So we got to that point. That was about 40 feet. So and at that point the visibility was just really, really bad. I was the only one with a light, because I always have one on my BC, and I did have the light on the camera, which works great. But it was just too much stuff kicked up and just not comfortable. So we went and came back up, and then Trish and Gay headed over along another part of the wall that was a little bit shallower, just to kind of work on the skills. And then Troy and I went over to further to the, I guess that'd be the west, because the wall was along the south side. Yeah. So we're headed over to the west to look at that. So we got to this point where you see in the picture, and we dropped on this point to see, just basically to see what we could see. This is going to be a place I'm going to be diving frequently.
At our 20 feet, it was really silty.
Yeah.
There was still underwater trash, like beer bottles and
really
junk.
Was it still wall where you were at, that 20 foot?
Still wall slanting down, but it was.
But not a sheer drop.
But not a sheer drop.
Okay.
Right.
So still a lot of silt there.
And if you touched it,
You had an explosion of particles, yeah.
you had to be real careful.
So we started descending, and I started snapping some shots just to see how the camera would do. Oh, hello. What happened? What happened? Oh, that's right. I switched to video at that point because I want to see now that I've got this really cool camera light. So let me switch to the video. There we go. And if you guys want to come around and see this, because you haven't seen this yet. Oh. She doesn't want to be on camera. But that light really makes a difference.
Yeah, I could see well. That's why I was putting my hand there. I was like, what?
Okay.
You're not on camera at this point, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
This is the live. That's the live shot there.
Yeah.
This has kind of got a delay on it.
Oh, cool.
This is the.
You said you went down you followed the wall down. How deep did you go, Rob?
On this one, I think we got to 50 some odd feet, 57
And it kept
feet.
going down?
Oh my gosh, yes.
So another abyss?
Yes. Yes. There was more that I wanted to see, but we just didn't have time because we were watching that storm rolling in. And, we didn't know how long that Trish and Gay were going to. Plus, I was like, okay, we still got to get up and try and get this video ready.
And get loaded.
Yeah, loaded up and everything.
Did you notice the thermocline?
Yes, at about 60 feet, the thermal hit. Boy, you definitely were glad to have a 5 mil full on.
Yeah.
Oh, darn, my lens was getting in the way.
Did you see any fish?
No, little ones.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be annoying. I have to remember to unhook my lens cap. But I tell you, that light really, really helps. There we go. I grabbed the lens cap.
Were you able to get footage when we got to that little crevasse?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
It's kind of. I wasn't sure. Did we go into like?
It was a huge overhang.
Yeah.
It was almost like a cave.
Because I was looking up.
See, I mean, I looked down at this. I was like, okay, I got it. Just draws me down.
Because I'm looking up.
Oh yeah, and
I can see
it was all dark.
Dark. Yeah, I was like, oh, interesting. Where are we?
Okay, now you guys mentioned fishing line. Did you kind of run into any of that at this part? Or was that
No.
at the first
Coming
one?
back when we got shallower, we did because you see the lines and it had been there a while because it had a lot of growth on it.
That was at about what, 30 feet?
Yeah, that was pretty shallow. Oops, I'm sorry.
We went down to what, about 60?
Close to 60.
Yeah.
I'm the type of girl that likes to have 100 foot of visibility. And, to go down in the abyss with a flashlight is just not one of those things I enjoy.
The abyss is not Trish's favorite.
So is this actually the abyss too, or
It makes that look pale.
really?
And this, it's easy. You're right there. So you just drop on it and you're there. I mean, this is like if you were to go right over to the cliffs by Diablo East and drop down, and it just keeps going.
Wow.
So I want to do a number of day dives out here, and then I want to do a night dive.
A night dive.
Could you take some kind of underwater to mark, arrows of where you.
Oh, I love that. No, I love diving
that
night
tree?
dives. My favorite
Yeah.
thing. And that, I'm actually laughing because I'm kind of like, we definitely got to do a night dive.
Oh yeah.
Stuff's too slimy to ride on, I think.
Huh?
Silt and stuff on the rocks.
Yeah, it'd be hard to actually get something on there.
So
It probably wouldn't stay.
we just hit a tree at that point. Is
You see it, Detroit's mask is all fogged up.
We actually came
I just-
across the abyss the first time on a night dive by accident.
Yeah.
I thought you were filming me doing my mask clearing at that point. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No,
you.
no. And we actually did our personal best there at the abyss.
Yeah. Yep.
Which
That's
was
right.
I had 140.
Wow.
What was it,
Really?
Robert?
I stopped at 128.
Okay, then I was at 130
Yeah.
because I was a little below you.
Well, because I had the camera and I was focusing so hard, I started to get a little bit of nitrogen narcosis because I was focusing on trying to get into this one little mini cave. I was like, okay, I'm getting a little lightheaded, so I needed to come up.
It was 130. I think 132 feet is what I measured, and it still kept going down. But our computers were already screaming at us like, "Get up!
Yeah.
Get up out!"
You were signaling to go up. I could, even though the reason why doesn't matter, because if anybody says let's go up, we go up. There we go. As I had to get this picture.
I just because it was hard for me to keep
Okay.
my bearing with that mask being so
Right.
fogged up, and it was dark enough where I was literally just following your light.
Go into the light.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is.
I think you know what I.
Yeah.
where I'm going with this
is
thing.
this is our next favorite dive spots right here.
Again, like I said earlier, it had
I had to
my-
get a me shot in there.
Had
of
my
course.
mask been clear like yours was, it
Yeah.
would have been much.
Yeah, I love that sea gold, but you gotta apply it before it gets wet.
Yeah. I'm just kind of going by braille there, feeling the wall.
I literally ran the card out.
Yeah, 4 gigs.
4 gig, 8 up
Wow.
on this. Because it's doing it full 1080p. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, here we go,
Man,
cave. I gotta
here
see
it
if I can get this shit.
Here it is. Yeah.
Get a shot in there.
I was trying to look while you had the light, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to see what's in there." I was hoping to see a big old fish. swim
Me
out of
too.
there.
I was so thoroughly expecting to see a big cat sitting in there.
So you couldn't quite get the light down in there.
Yeah,
far
I would have
enough.
had to spend some time kind of, because it's bendable.
Yeah.
Or I keep forgetting, on the video light, I can actually push a button and disconnect it from there. So I could have actually stuck the light in the...
Oh, cool.
But,
Well, what we can do is we can make a plan next time.
yeah.
And if we do that again, either myself
See, there's
or
the
Robert
fishing line myself.
will take. You'll have the camera. We can take an extra light or something.
There you go.
Shine in there.
Yeah.
Work as a
Well,
team.
since you know that it gets dark down there, obviously when we go down, we'd have to carry
The
our
full
full
lights.
light.
Yeah.
You know, the camera light would be great, but we'll have to be with our pistol lights.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it looks like it gets really dark down there.
Yeah. And you see, we got down to like 55, 60
I know
feet.
Robert. Robert wants to go down 100, 120 feet on this thing. I know it.
Hey, if there's a cave that I can see, I want to see it. I want pictures and video. And that's where the card, it started flashing full card. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, well, like Rob mentioned, he got narked the first time we went down. He was trying to get this picture, and I don't know. It was weird because he just kind of started moving kind of weird, and
Right.
he snapped right away, and he knew it. So we went up, but
That's
God,
just it. You
was-
recognize
Yeah.
those things. and
Yeah,
then you
so it
do
was pretty neat.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun that day.
Go in,
Do what?
crack the crevasse big enough to go
No. As a
No.
matter of fact, it wasn't even wide enough to fit the whole camera in because I have the arms extended on there. Yeah. Yeah. So we definitely had a blast on there. I mean, it's just incredible amounts of opportunity as far as a wall dive. And anybody who knows me knows that I am a huge fan of the wall dive. Whether it's a coral reef type wall dive or even just like what we have at Lake Amistad, where there's virtually nothing on the wall. I love that stuff. That's my thing. So
See, my thing is diving a wall, but at night.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a night dive guy, so
Yeah, but I even told Trish and Gay. I said this we want to dive a number of times during the day, so that you get familiar with it. You never want to dive a site at night if you haven't gone diving during the day. As a matter of fact, on the trip we're going on, we do have a night dive scheduled on Thursday, I think it is, and. So if I remember correctly, we do that dive during the day earlier in the week. So that's going to be. I'm so excited about that. Oh, it is going to be awesome. So the things obviously that you can see at night are more dramatic, in coral areas and tropical areas, because the coral all opens up and becomes active at night. At least. Yeah.
The blues and the reds and the yellows are all.
Exactly. Trisha's talking about because when you're diving with the lights, you now are lighting up everything. You're bringing back the spectrum that is lost typically at depth because it's filtered. The light is filtered.
Does it have to be is there any light that's better than other? I mean.
Well, now everybody is typically diving with LED lights, and you can get different
like colors of lights.
Yeah, you can get a whiter white.
Yeah.
Now go ahead.
The pistol light that you have is actually pretty white.
Yeah, it is very white.
It's kind of like the that little UK light that I found.
Yes, which is awesome light.
Which is an LED light, and it's a little thing, little light.
He found it at the Scuba Cove. We were just cruising along. Yeah,
Really?
it was a really nice BC light. It's a little bit large for a BC light, but man, that thing was bright.
I mean, I thought, okay, it probably leaked. Somebody dropped it or something. But when I got out of the water, I opened it. It was dry. It was just the batteries had run out. So I put new batteries in there. Worked like a champ.
Yeah.
Now I actually carried it on my BC.
Yep.
And when I'll turn it on, it actually serves pretty good during a night dive. Of course, it's not a pistol light.
Right. So it doesn't have the beam.
Right. It's more of a straight shot, but would have been good for that little crevice.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect.
What size is it?
It's maybe about 6 inches.
And is it it's LED?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You remember who makes it?
It was Underwater Kinetics.
Okay, UK.
Robert,
Yeah,
how
you
many
can.
lights do you carry when you make a night dive?
I carry 3. I carry 2 BC lights and then my primary pistol light. More redundancy, especially at night, because of the conditions where we dive at the lake. It's really hazy. Obviously, you've seen it. So if one light fails, I always have a backup light. One light fails like that. Rob still has his. Of course, you never dive alone. So I'll pretty much follow his. And if his were to go out, well, then that would obviously cancel the dive.
Right.
So we go up. But it's...
Scuba diving, do they have the lights that are up here?
Yes.
Isn't that what? No, I was thinking Dominic.
Dominic had one actually it converts to a helmet. Like you can put it over his mask, but he uses it on his wrist. It's got a little attachment for his wrist. So he's diving like this. And then he's got one that he holds and...
Now, the virtue of those wrist ones or the wraparound palm ones are that frees up that hand to actually use stuff. So with it strapped around the palm of your hand, you can just simply go out like this and shine the light, but then you can also be grabbing a hold of something. So if you're wrestling with gear or a camera or whatever, it basically gives you your second.
So you're like an underwater superhero.
Yes, that's it.
Sort of.
You can fly like Superman underwater. Yes.
But
Space Ghost.
Yeah,
that's right. Space Ghost.
That's right.
Gay is bringing back old school.
All right.
But no, I dive with three lights, a primary and 2 BC lights.
Yeah. And then also we'll typically have at least one, but usually more than one of the chemical lights.
Yeah.
I love Halloween because I stock up. I have a big old case in our mobile dive center that is nothing but different colors of those chemical lights. You can go to a dive shop and spend crazy amounts of money on those, or you can just wait till Halloween. Yes, wait till Halloween. After Halloween's over and they have all these sales, they'll sell those things at like 30, 40, 50 cents a stick. And you got multiple colors, which is great for when you're diving with a group because you can assign colors to people. And so we'll tie one to our tank So it becomes a really inexpensive ID light, and then you have one in your BC pocket. So if all else fails, you have something you can see with.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
That's a great
yeah.
idea.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're all about redundancy.
Yeah, no, I just prefer to be cautious that way.
Yeah. Well, because if you like night diving a lot, you want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to interrupt it, because it's more challenging to recover from your wits when something fails when you have not even ambient light.
Yeah.
Even as deep as we were, and you really needed the light to see well, you still had ambient light.
Yeah.
You know which way was up.
Yeah, you can still look up.
Yes.
Right.
When you're at night dive, there is, unless you
That's
happen to have a
true.
moon right
True.
over you, there is no way for you to tell which way is up.
Oh.
And you have nothing as a reference to tell if you are ascending or descending, other than if you're sensing the change of the pressure in your ears. And I can promise you that unless you are one of those really seasoned divers who is so attuned to what your body's doing, you will not recognize if you're ascending too quickly.
Yeah.
You'll know if you're descending pretty fast, because you will feel the pressure change. But you may not realize as the pressure is released how quickly you're ascending.
True.
And so you need that light to be able to watch your gauge, because it's going to tell you if you're ascending too quickly.
When you shine the light on your gauge,
Yeah.
so that it shows up, how long does the gauge stay lit?
Oh, you're talking about the glow in the dark type. It really depends on how old the gear is. What Trish is talking about is most of your more current gear, I say in the last 15, 20 years, most of your current gear is actually made where the background, the white background, is glow in the dark.
Right.
So you can do what we call charging the gauge,
Yeah.
where you just take your light and you just hold it onto the gauge for a minute, and it shines it up, and it'll fade. I've noticed, at least on my gear, it'll last about as long as I've held the light on it. So I'll get a good minute out of it before I need. It's not very long, but then you really, yeah. I'm wondering if they'll ever come up with a neat technology that makes it hold that glow in the dark
Or
capability.
like an Indiglow, like
Well,
you have on watches.
yeah, and I'm amazed that they haven't done that. I know that they have the actual computers that light up.
Yeah, mine
But-
do.
Yeah, but you're talking about, well, yours do?
Yeah.
Okay, mine doesn't.
Oh, really?
But yeah, mine I
Are you
have
sure
to charge
you just
it.
have it? Really?
Yeah, no, the Cobra is the one. The Viper and the Cobra are the one that has the
Really?
backlit.
You just, while you're on a dive and you press the one button, it will light it up. And I've got for those who are curious, I've got the Oceanic VO 3.0. But even for the students, I've got the VO 180. And those are a single button. They're very, very, they're the low end computer. They have a lot of good features, and it's just a single button operation. So you have to either press multiple times or hold it to do different things.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are in dive mode, when it senses you're actually on the dive, the first time you press it to do anything, it will light it up kind of almost an indiglow color.
Dominic's is the Viper, and he's got his that lights up.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I've already tried.
And you've checked
Yeah.
because you can turn it off on the VOs. You can actually turn the light off.
I would double check it, but I'd be safe to say that it's only
I would have thought for sure.
I gotta
that
charge
is a
it.
high end. That's not a cheap. That's not a cheap computer. I would have thought that would have it.
Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I mean,
But I normally
charge.
normally I charge it, and it'll last about a minute or two. So it doesn't say charge very long.
Well, and let that be a lesson to those of you who are looking to get your first gear or upgrading. If having a built-in light capability is important to you, look for that feature when you're making your decision as far as your dive computer.
It probably wouldn't be a big upgrade cost. It'd probably be a small little,
Yeah,
maybe an extra $20 for that feature.
yeah.
But
Depends on who makes it, I guess.
yeah, well, if you're looking at Scuba Pro stuff, that's
Yeah.
expensive.
Cha-ching.
Ching.
Now you
Yeah, there's
can
stuff.
on your computer and all that.
Uh-huh.
If you already have a setup, on your Octopus, you can just replace only that component, right?
Absolutely right.
Without having to
Absolutely
buy
right.
the whole kit,
Right.
or whatever you call
Yeah,
it.
everything on modern scuba gear is modularly replaceable.
Cool.
As a matter of fact, on our dive today, we ran into different, equipment challenges, and one of those is one of my student sets of gear. We discovered from between last weekend when we used it to this weekend that the high pressure hose that goes to the pressure gauge that tells you how much air is in your tank was leaking air at different spots in a way that I've never seen before. It was almost like it was peppered with something.
Little pinholes.
Yeah, little pinholes.
Wow.
I've never seen that before. So I'll be ordering a replacement hose. And some of the gear we were testing, we discovered, were older hoses, and so we'll be having to order replacement high-pressure hoses for those. But most of your gear is typically modular, so there's fittings that screw together, that bolt together, that allow you to remove a hose and keep the gauge, or replace the gauge if the hose is good, all that type of thing. I think your set is completely removable, right?
Yes, everything. Yeah. Every single piece is replaceable.
So you can actually disconnect. Does yours have the quick disconnect for the
No,
console?
actually, I can actually buy that. It's a small attachment that I could just attach at the end and then get a quick disconnect.
That's kind of cool if you want to protect your gear and you just want to bring your gauge,
Yeah.
out.
Of course, it's actually, I've seen it. It looks kind of flimsy.
Yeah.
But when you turn the air on, it pressurizes
exactly,
it, so
and it gets
makes
tight.
It gets tight.
Yeah.
So at first, it looks kind of like this thing's going to leak water,
And where does this go? Where is this connecting to?
Actually, if you look at like where this would be my computer.
Right.
Right here at the bottom where it connects, there's a little attachment.
Well, you were talking about that. Let me see if I can look that up on the internet.
Yeah, it's a small little attachment that would go, and then it's at the end of the hose. So I just snap it on, and then when I turn on my air, it actually pressurizes the hose and makes it stiff. But so when I'm done, I can just go ahead and release, and then just remove my computer and take it off.
I see.
So it's not still attached to all of my gear.
Okay, so and the reason for that is to help protect your computer.
Well, help protect the computer, but also like at the end of the dive, when you go eat somewhere and you're going to go log your dive, I don't have to carry in my whole gear. I just bring in my computer.
Exactly. I was thinking about that today because we didn't have time to do our log today.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we got to pull all that out of the trailer.
Well, we used to dive after dives. We used to eat at our haunt, that little gas station. There it is.
Yeah, let me switch to. I love having this capability. So this is the connector he's talking about that you can add to it. So basically, you add one piece of it, the part that's separate there. You actually attach that to your computer, your gauge, and then this other part connects to the hose itself, so it screws into the fitting. And so where they join is a quick connect. And what Robert's saying is that once you connect them and turn the air on, it makes that connection solid. It binds it up. So.
And what's the basic cost on this?
Let's find out.
$15, something like that. It's real.
That's a great bell and whistle.
I like that.
I think I saw one time. It might be more. I might be wrong. What are we looking at?
We're looking here on the interweb. For some prices.
Let's see what Sunto says.
There, the quick connect. It's on eBay. They have it on eBay there.
Oh, you can get a good price for it there. Is there not a price here? Oh.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free. It's free for those who ask. Let's try the eBay one.
Let's see what it's going for on eBay.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait a minute. Really?
$21.
It sold for $21 on an auction.
Yeah.
$12 shipping.
Which is about what you were saying,
Yeah.
So,
about
not
$20.
Yeah.
If he sold it for $20,
and again, those are one of those things, because the equipment is so modular, there's all these conveniences that people come up with.
That's
now,
cool.
of course,
like
then
that.
if you really want to go a little bit more high dollar, you can get the whole remote access ones.
I'm scared of those though. Once they actually connect a little sensor to your actual
the first stage of your regulator.
Your regulator,
Yeah.
and it's a little sensor. I'm really scared about that because once that thing goes out, you've got nothing
talking to you.
Nothing
and your
talking
gauge is basically you could wear it on your wrist, doesn't matter.
wrist.
It's actually it's through radio signals.
Yeah, it's like a radio signal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They do sell and they're really good. I'm just real.
Yeah.
If I don't have a hose connected, I'm really kind of scared.
It's kind of like the difference between Wi-Fi and physical Ethernet connection. Wi-Fi connections just can't keep up with a physical connection yet, and the reliability you can't touch yet. So yeah, I have to admit I'm the same way.
if you really want to go high tech, you can get the Scuba Pro Galileo.
Full color.
Full color. It's got
HD screen.
It's got a heart rate monitor. It monitors your blood pressure underwater. Monitors everything.
Might not want to know that, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Now,
you're looking $1,500 just for the
all of
PC.
this is interchangeable with any equipment because today we found that mix and match isn't always a good idea.
Yeah, Trish brings up a good point.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, well, the connector in general is more for the Sunto. Like if the kind of gear that I have is Sunto, so I don't know. Depending on the manufacturer, you would have to see if they have a quick disconnect for that kind of gauge that you have.
Right.
I'm sure that they would make one depending on what brand it is because they're pretty pretty common.
Yeah.
The one that we're discussing here is exactly for the Sunto style, like
Which is
Gecko,
who makes
Viper,
this,
and all of
yeah.
those. I know that there's a Cobra one that it's not compatible with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's one of the Cobra. I don't know if it's Cobra 1 or Cobra 2, but you buy it and it already comes with it, but it's not interchangeable with the one that you sell.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Tricia is referring to about not everything being fully interchangeable is there are a couple of different standards, and the BC that Troy was using is a Sequest, and the BC hose, and it also had his rig also had the integrated alternate regulator into the power inflator. Now the hose from the first stage to the BC was a different size connector.
It's
And-
skinnier, isn't it? Smaller?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because the one that I have, it's a little bit fatter, so I had to get a special hose from Lana when I bought 2 extra ones, and she goes, "Well, is it the skinny one or the thicker one?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
So I looked at it, was the fatter one, so she had to look because the ones that she had were for a skinny one.
Right.
Apparently, she had some gear there, and one of them was the Sequest Legend, the
Latitude.
Latitude,
Yeah.
and it had a smaller connection than the one that I had.
Wow.
So she went through her inventory and she goes, "No, I only have for the little small one, so I have to order you some." But
Yeah, that's
so-
what we discovered there. The on my BC, it has the larger.
Yeah, mine is large.
Yeah, it's the larger.
Because we tried
connection.
to swap out, because when we were doing the work in the pool, kind of doing the exercise, the refresher stuff, the computers that we were testing all out, which were Sunto computers, the batteries were pretty much dead. So we didn't want to. But when you go on a real dive like this, and where it's no longer in confined water, you want to make sure your computer's fully working. So
Right.
we were going to swap out and use one of my student rigs, and we tried to connect it to the BC.
Oh, the
Hose wouldn't work.
is
I was like,
different.
wow.
Yeah.
And
So
the-
we ended up having to go up and grab one of the other Sequest
The
ones.
additional challenge that created waste in the process was I did not try to connect it at the trailer. So I'd already carried it all the way down to the water.
Yeah.
And then, I
and you
forgot to
guys
hook-
saw
forgot
the
to hook
pictures
my
of that.
hose.
It's still a little bit of a walk.
Yeah.
And Rob, being the trooper that he is, went all the way up there and got a whole nother BC and octopus
regulator.
and brought it back.
Brought it down.
And that was one of the things that I noticed. I didn't know they were different, but they are. Some of the connections
Yeah.
are smaller. So Lana looked at it and she goes, "I already know." So she called her person and got it
Yeah.
done. So
Yep. So, and I got a email. I've been exchanging emails with one of those student pilots who's going to be starting up. He and a buddy are going to be starting up their pilot classes, their pilot training in July, and they heard that we can do they can go through a course here, so they're trying to get set for the June course. So I'm still scrambling to find a place I can actually teach. Definitely am not going to be able to teach at this new site, but man, I'm going to be diving the heck out of it. It is awesome.
We need a scuba diver on Amistad that has a boat, or somebody that has a boat.
Well, actually, we do now, and I've got to engage him. So if you happen to be watching, Ben, Mark Bemistarfer, who we've done a number of dives with, he was retired Navy, and they since have moved out. They actually were the camp hosts at the South Winds Marina, the Air Force Marina, so they kind of watched over the camps and everything. And being retired, he could do fishing and diving anytime he wants. So we used to go diving with him. Well, he became really good friends with one of the Border Patrol guys out there, Ben. And we actually did. Matter of fact, I think you were on one of the dives with them. Ben, and I can't remember his other friends. So there was the four of us, and I think it was Castle Canyon that we did.
Yeah.
And it was out on Mark's boat.
I remember it was cold.
Yes, it was. We were in the full.
freezing.
Yes, we were in full gear. But he evidently.
I don't get cold, literally. I mean, I got a brig tolerance. For me to be shaking and say
Yeah.
it's cold,
The mark
it was
of a tree
freezing.
diver.
Yeah, you'll do it. Yeah, that's me.
For me to
I
be
was-
shaking like this, it was cold.
Right.
Robert was decked out with a hoodie
A
and,
whole thing.
and gloves.
7 mil, man.
And I didn't have
Wow.
anything on. It was
Okay.
just
Yeah, but Ben's a hardcore diver. Evidently, he's been, because he's not been able to find any dive buddies, he's been going out and diving by himself too.
Really?
So he's just like, is there anybody? I'm like, dude, right here.
Dude.
Yeah. So now the only challenge with him is because he's Border Patrol, they have these weird schedules
Yeah.
that they get rotated onto. So there'll be times where he's going to be able to dive that, it'd be in the middle of the day. I'm not going to be able to.
But the point is, he has a boat.
Yeah, he's got a boat. And so I'm like, Castle Canyon and Goodenough Springs. I
Yeah.
absolutely want to do Goodenough Springs.
Yeah, I wanted to bring
before-
that up.
Yeah.
Before the lake goes back up.
Yeah. For those who, and I need to add that to I had the links and a little bit of backstory on our old website. And if you haven't checked out our new Dive Club website, please do. Oh, Trish, you like it?
Oh, it's
Well, that's right. You do a lot of the website stuff too.
Last week.
Yeah. So I'm really pleased with it. It took a little while to get that up to there, but I think it looks good. But I need to add back in the Goodenough Springs link and backstory on that, which Troy got to visit. Matter of fact,
I'm looking.
I was going to say, if you have that link, I could probably show that up here.
Wow, they even have their own. Let's see if this is what I think it is.
Let's see if I can
They have a direct website.
get to. Oh, is it Goodenough Spring? Maybe.
GoodEnoughSprings.org.
Yes.
yeah, that's it. That'd be it.
I'm not sure how much information, if they got any videos or anything here.
They have the photo gallery. Let me
yeah,
switch
photo
over to
gallery.
the screen here. Screen region, love it. All right, so if you're interested in Goodenough Springs, and it is a very famous spring, it's the largest feet of water. It feeds the lake, Lake Amistad, the most water of even compared to the 3 rivers that feed into it.
Interesting.
And it is also the most dangerous cave dive.
In the nation.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Which really surprised me. I
I
had no
guess
clue.
they judge it by the number of people. I hate to say, by the number of people that have lost their lives trying to enter this thing.
Here we go.
89 million gallons of water per day.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So we got some pictures up here that we're
Wow.
looking at about.
I met a young girl from Dive World who entered the mouth of this thing. She was a brand new diver. She only had basic open water certification and went down to this thing and took a photograph at the little sign that says,
That's what
Don't
I
go
want to
beyond-
do.
and she went down there, but she did it with no extra air, no decompression, no nothing.
That's
She relied a
stupid.
lot on her equipment. And of course I mentioned the Galileo. She had that. She
Oh,
didn't
wow.
die, no. She was really young, though. She was like 18 or 19 years old, but she actually tackled that dive. And she did it just to take a picture and got out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, because when the lake is at its
It was at his highest point.
when it's at its regular pool level, whatever they call it, it's about 160 feet down.
Yeah.
But right now, it's only 90 feet down.
Oh, it is 90 feet down. Oh man,
think
that's an
so.
easy dive, man. So in answer
what
to your question, Trish, Ben's got a boat and he's just anxious for divers. So this would be the dive of a lifetime for me as far as local lake diving.
Would it be clear down there with all the water?
Well, yeah, I'm looking at some of the pictures here on the screen here, and it looks pretty clear. It looks pretty clear. You figure with the amount of water that's being pushed out of there, unless you're actually kicking up the silt that's flowing out, it's going to push it out pretty quick. And judging by how sharp the rocks all are, some of these deposits, judging by how sharp the edges on the rocks, that is some fast moving water.
Yep. It reminds me of the spring that we dove The San Felipe Spring.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was. Yeah, for those who saw our podcast showing the video
dive.
from that one.
That was very cool, by the way.
Yes.
It wasn't cool when I got stabbed. That tell you.
Oh yeah, with all the debris that was in there, the pieces of.
I don't know. Did you know
metal.
about that? Robert and I got called by the city to help
Yes. Yeah,
assist.
A couple of years ago, wasn't it?
It was like last year.
Yeah.
It was in January. It wasn't cold, but it just happened to be that the day we dove happened to be the coldest day of the year, and it was raining. So we got into the water and it felt like we were in a jacuzzi. It felt warm.
Oh, it was great. 'Cause, it's the same temperature. It's constant temperature
It
all
was
year.
constant temperature.
But getting out,
But the only problem is the water's rushing up so fast from the spring that it made the rocks extremely sharp. So it was
erosion.
just cutting up everything.
Wow.
yeah.
Now, Rob and Tara and I dove in Stanley Arledge's spring.
Yeah.
And there were sharp edges as we went into
Yeah.
the spring.
Trisha's talking about Stanley Arledge's house.
Spring.
Yeah, it's one of the springs that feeds
You're
the
talking
San
about
Felipe Spring.
the little black hole thing where we went looking
Yeah.
for a ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, I dove
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
I was
he
there. Yeah, he was just
Yeah,
building
but
his
our
house.
our
It was-
audience has not been there, so
Oh, okay, there you go.
I'm retelling a little bit of that. Yeah, that was one of the cases where we were asked to go see if we could find a lost ring, and this is basically a bowl.
his backyard.
It's in this guy's backyard, and it's basically a 20 foot, 22.
if
something
you
like
can
that.
make it that far, the water brings you up real fast.
But it's like a bowl shaped
It's perfect.
area,
It's perfectly
and
round.
the spring itself is actually not from the very bottom, but it's like
At an
as it
angle.
starts to rise up. And Trish is right, that water came out of there pretty fast too, and you could see it was very, very sharp. I had to wedge myself in carefully to actually get down there to look. It's
I
amazing.
have some pictures. Maybe I could find them. And you
Oh yes, please do. If you have some pictures from that,
Yeah, I was there.
absolutely.
I'll send them to you.
Yeah, definitely. I want to
You
post
took
it.
the camera then, and I took
No, I didn't have. We didn't have our good camera.
Yeah, no, that was when Tom was splashing all over the place.
Yeah.
He couldn't stay down. He could not stay down. So it threw him over. Remember,
That
that's
was
where
hilarious.
the current was running.
That's
it
right.
flipped him over, and I said, "What's he doing?" The current actually got him.
He's out of control. He's
Flipped him over.
he's in a flat spin. It was bad. It was bad.
But yeah, he was a very, I guess, private person, and we were I think the first people he'd ever allowed on there to do that. So it was kind of an honor to go.
Wonderful experience.
that
yeah.
was fun. That was
Did
fun.
not find the ring, unfortunately.
No. We were just joking about it today. That it's now basically how much water did you say was now in there?
Like about a foot.
A foot of water.
It was in the paper.
That's all that's left in
Wow.
there.
In the spring, the hill?
Yes.
It was in the paper a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A foot of water?
Yeah.
That thing was 20 feet.
Hardly anything.
Yeah. So now he's just got a big old hole in the back
In his back. Maybe he
backyard.
can find his ring now.
That's what Trish said.
Maybe he'll be able to find his ring now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around and maybe we could find it.
He'd just go down there and mow, and, and maybe find the ring. But yeah, that's pretty depressing. That just shows you that the aquifer is down too. If there's not enough water to push that, makes you wonder what's going to happen with our main spring that we dove in to help the city put another pump in there.
Yeah.
I wonder what the volume. I'm reading a little bit about here about the Good Enough Spring. I wonder if the volume has stayed consistent there.
That's a good question.
It's incredible. I'm reading some of these. There's this Good Enough Springs Exploration Project,
Yeah.
GSEP, formed by a group of technical divers out of Houston back in 2003. They've defined this as the world's most dangerous underwater cave.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And they're saying here, and no amount of training and experience can prepare you for it. In July of 2008, they successfully penetrated the cave to a depth of 515
Can you imagine
feet,
that?
confirming Good Enough Spring as the deepest explored underwater cave system in the United States.
And they still didn't reach the end of it.
Yeah,
No.
I know. I think they were only able to go. That's as far as they could go.
And then I know that they came out and they put that sign there.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that actual sign that's there, it's on several other caves in the U.S. It just tells you don't go beyond that point
Yeah,
because
stop here.
there's nothing
The
there.
cenotes in Mexico, some of their cenotes
Yeah, they have the signs with the skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually the Grim Reaper, and it's pretty cool. And
Right.
That's
it says,
exactly what they call here, the Grim Reaper warning sign.
Yeah, and it's actually in different. I've seen it in different caves in the United States where they'll go down there and they'll put that sign. Don't go beyond that point because there's nothing worth seeing that's worth your life.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Exactly.
that's crazy.
So cool.
Well, that girl made it to that sign. that 18-year-old girl.
Wow.
Golly.
It says here, 1995, pioneer cave divers. I'm not going to read their names. I can't pronounce them both. Anyway, they encountered the flow so strong in the fire hydrant tunnel, is what they've called it, that it would rip your mask off if you turn the wrong way.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
With great effort, they managed to install an iron pig and rope, allowing future divers to a fairly easy way to gain access to the tunnel. I don't have any desire to go in the tunnel. I'd like to go see it.
I want to
That's
get
it.
pictures and a little video. That's what I want to get. If you could, it sounds like the pressure coming out of that cave would be so strong.
cool.
You'd probably have to claw your way up even to that.
Well, they even installed a hydro lab there to continually record water quality parameters like temperature, conductivity, pH, and dissolved oxygen.
So I'm wondering how they're getting that information. You know, is it somehow transmitted or
Elfin magic.
Elfin magic?
Keep
Yes.
Or recorded and really go down every once in a while and recover it.
Maybe.
It doesn't go into detail.
Oh, what was that?
I'm pretty sure they did it over a series of time.
Oh yeah,
That's the pit. That's really cool looking.
yeah, that's just amazing.
Now, I wonder when these pictures were taken that they have there for Goodnight Springs, because
Are you looking at the gallery?
yeah, I wonder.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm just clicked on on the page I was reading.
Oh, okay.
I wonder how much better it would look with, say, an HD camera.
Oh my gosh, yes.
With a big strobe light like you have on yours.
No kidding. I think we're about to lose our guests here. They're fading fast.
9:05.
Oh yeah, as typical, we're running past
Yeah.
our
We're
normal
running
time.
a little late.
So,
It's
as a matter of
Robert's
fact,
fault.
yeah, it is. It's all All right. Well, let me jump into the minutes trivia before we cut out of
We're
here.
getting out.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about pretty much diving.
Yeah, we did.
all day
Yeah, we
today,
did, which
didn't we?
is kind of unique. We had a chance to beat up on Robert here on the whole with the.
I've told you, two don't make one.
Yeah,
I don't
right,
care what you
right.
say.
All right, so Administrivia, our next dive club meeting. Please join us at Rudy's Restaurant, 7 p.m. Meet us there. Good food, all the good stuff.
Date.
20 June 2013. Now, I won't be there. Trish won't be there. Gay won't be there. Oh, wait a minute. No, June we
Yeah,
will. It's July
yeah,
we won't be
June
there.
20.
I did that last week,
We
too.
did it. As I say, you just did it
Yeah,
last week.
I'm repeating. I'm so anxious to get to Grand Cayman. I'm so unbelievably anxious to. So yes, we'll be there. So we'd
Okay.
like to see you there, and you don't have to. Here's the cool thing: you do not have to be a diver. You don't even have to be interested in being a diver. Just be interested in having fun, and we'll make you a diver. Once we get our claws into you, you will not be able to escape. You will be absorbed into the collective.
Is
Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile.
is the dive club typically the third Thursday?
It
or-
is.
Okay.
Third
And if
Thursday.
you have a smartphone of any type, use your electronic calendar and plug it in there so you always know that it's available.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Website, delrio.com.
Yes, definitely visit our website, which down at the bottom of our little screen there, you see you can hit us up on the Facebook page. Go to Facebook/Del Rio Dive Club, or visit our Dive Club, new and improved Dive Club website. And then also you can send us messages via Skype messaging to Guys Who Dive. And we have our Balmoral State Park dive trips, June 14th through the 16th, July 24th through the 28th, August 22nd through the 25th, and September. Oh, wait a minute. I jumped way ahead. July 19th and 21st, August 16th and 18th, which is Tara and I's anniversary weekend.
Yeah.
But July 19th, we won't be here.
Well, no, we won't be. No, we won't be. But other people can go. We're not going to tell them. Well, just because we're not here, you can't go to Balmoral. We try to get all people to go to Balmoral. That is an awesome dive. Would you not agree?
I
That is
agree.
fantastic. But if you hold out till August 16th and 18th, that you can celebrate. Tara and I will have our anniversary that weekend. So
There last year.
that's right.
Yeah.
Isn't that when we had the hail?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hail.
Oh, hail.
It was bad. I was running around like a chicken with my legs cut off.
No, the last time I remember was when you were going to give him a Discover Scuba. You were going to give Gay a Discover Scuba and the rain set in, and you were standing there like,
Oh, yeah.
go away.
I was like, and it literally, the storm built right over my head. There was nothing anywhere else. It literally formed right over my head.
I'm at the hut, and we're all looking at Robert like, what is he doing?
Getting disgusted. I was so getting disgusted. So anyway, we have our dive classes, basic open water courses, June 27th through the 30th. Already got a couple of guys who are signing up for that.
Cool.
July 24th through the 28th, August 22nd through the 25th, and September 26th through the 29th. And, of course, we can do individual ones by special arrangement for a nominal fee, of course. And also, if you're interested in advanced courses, just let me know, and we'll get that run up. And then, of course, we'd love for you to join us on our Tons of Steel dive trip. You need to sign up quickly. Yes, going down to South Padre with American divers. If you go to divesouthpadre.com, you'll be able to see the details on it. Basically, this is a 3-tank dive. Start out really early in the morning because it's a little bit of a boat ride out there. And you'll be doing 2 tanks on a Texas Clipper, and then also a dive on a abandoned oil rig. So it's kind of like a wall dive, but without a lot of wall. But you get to see the strata of sea life that hangs at the different levels. So basically, you just kind of go to the level that you want, that you're comfortable with. You don't have to go, real deep if you don't want to. And so that covers our administrivia. So I don't have anything else except for dinner waiting on me.
There you go.
You got your
So you guys got anything else you want to share?
No.
Okay. So are we on for next weekend? No challenges or issues that you're aware of?
No, I want to dive that wall next weekend.
Yeah. Well, we have to make sure we get out there early enough to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say we can hit that baby at 9 o'clock or 10.
Yeah. I'm up with
AM?
that.
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the Del Rio area, if you are looking to do an exciting new dive, join us. And we'll post it on the Dive Club website and on the Facebook page. We're going to do a dive off of Spur 54 and check out that Spur 454 and check out the wall dive there. So, not the Berlin Wall, not the Great China Wall, but the Spur for 454 wall.
454 wall.
That's right. So we'd love to
454.
see you out there. The more the merrier. Just be ready because it's not for the faint-hearted. I mean, it's going to be fairly low visibility, but
Do you have flashlights you can rent people if they don't have flashlights?
I do not. So you definitely will want to bring a flashlight and bring a dive light.
Yeah.
I hear Trish and Gay may have a few lights available for sale.
Yeah. I'll be
Here.
talking to you about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
you got lights for sale.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So there is a way to get them. So, or you can always order. It's a week. You can order online.
Yeah.
We
Might
like to
do
recommend.
that.
Yeah, we like to recommend diversupply.com or Leisure Pro. Those are good places to get them if you're looking for a particular type. Good places to get good quality gear at a reasonable price.
Yep.
Well, we have nothing else, and we thank Trish and Gay for joining us.
Yeah,
we
thanks.
don't often get an actual in-studio audience. That's
Yeah.
pretty
No,
cool.
this is pretty
so,
cool.
yeah, we're stepping up. Yes,
Yes,
thank you so
thank
much. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you folks there watching us either live or catching us on YouTube after the fact.
Yeah.
Always looking for your comments, suggestions. You can always contact Scuba Bob
Down there.
via follow him
Where
at
is it? Right
Twitter
over there.
at the Twitter. Yes, right down at the Twitter RS Garza 435, or you can send him an email. 'Cause
Yes,
he reads his
please.
own. He reads his own email.
Yeah, actually, the sequestration hasn't kicked in yet, so I still have my assistant.
That's right.
So you can go ahead. But please send me an email.
That's right. That's at rsgarza821 at yahoo.com. And then, of course, you can always follow me on the Twitter at RobertCFP or send me an email, robert.wade@setifox.net, and I will personally respond back to you. I'll even respond back to you on Twitter too. I'm quite prolific on the Twitter.
Yeah, I sent you something on Twitter. You didn't respond back to it.
It's probably because I was underwater.
No, I did it the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, you saw it?
The article I read.
The article? Did you read it?
Yeah.
See, I told you I didn't make that stuff up.
I'll have to go back.
And it's
to my
on
Twitter.
CNET, so you can't say that it's a disrespectable or an uncredible website.
Oh, so this is a tech thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. So anyway, we appreciate y'all watching the show, and we'd love to hear your comments, suggestions, questions, all that stuff. Definitely would like to hear it live, and but we'll take it after the fact if we have to. So please join us next week on another exciting episode of Two Guys Who Dive. See ya.